Hello my viewers. Right now this morning I'm just chilling out a little bit. First, before I get started on working on the camper, doing a little magnet fishing here in my burn pile and getting staples, screws, nails, whatever that's in here. Look at that. Get plenty of it here. So get that out of there so I can use this ash for some other purposes I've got around my project property here. It's almost like an ASMR kind of a thing here. Just look at there. Getting all the steel stuff out of the ash. And the thing is I get a lot, and then I'll go ahead and kind of turn it up a little bit here, and I'll get a bunch more. So okay. One thing I found here is I could probably just about feed myself off of all the steel and other metals I find around this property. I'm taking it all into the scrap yard and selling it. Yeah, I mean, these days I don't hardly eat that much anyway, so it kind of helps out a lot of things. I guess as you get older you don't eat that much, at least not like, I know I don't like I used to when I was younger. Wow, more junk. Alright, well, I'm not going to bore you with me doing some of this here. I'm going to do more of this off camera. This is almost kind of a calming thing for me to do. So I'm back at it again on this camper. So I wanted to be able to save those little doors on the side there and sell them, but I didn't know if I was going to really even have a market for them. So I wasn't real concerned that I wasn't able to get them. I mean, the screws were kind of in there really weird, and I wasn't going to go too crazy about trying to get them out of there. Anyway, so here I'm just removing that thin piece of the fiberglass sheeting off of the veneer. So first though, I'm trying to get these panels off. See, these little doors. I really wanted to be able to get them off there and sell them, but I don't know. Things just weren't cooperating with me, so I wasn't gonna go too crazy with it. Now you see that like veneer right back in there. I mean, there were just a bunch of bull ants and I mean moisture buildup and everything. It was just pretty bad. So a lot of moisture had got into this camper through the years and really destroyed it. So here I'm just taking my pry bar to these panel doors, which I mean I kind of wish I didn't. Now that I actually have a buyer for these, I mean, I kind of, in hindsight, wish that I would have taken some other measures to try to save these rather than just get them off there any which way they go. And so that's one problem. I mean, when you're selling stuff on, say, Marketplace or something, I mean, you don't know if you have something that would sell, okay, until you give it some time. Now, usually, though, something that is a real hot item will sell like within the first day, believe it or not. I mean, I guess you would believe it if you've got a lot of experience with Marketplace. But you can't be too impatient, though. You got to give a few days before you kind of drop your price or something like that, or just forget the whole thing. For example, I've got 2 laptop computers right now that have Windows XP on them. I mean, they're really old. They were built in like 2000, and they're very underpowered. They only have like 256 megs of RAM memory and like a 60 gig hard drive, that kind of a thing. So they would probably be great, like if you wanted to run some really old software, like some old games or something like that, that would require DOS or an early Windows version. So it was, anyway, I have 2 of those, and I mean, I get these messages of these people asking me if I would deliver all, like, it's crazy. They, for a $15 computer, okay, and they want me to deliver it to them, 2 hours away. That's insane. I'm not going to do that. So, I mean, and then they keep asking me if I would mail it and all this. I'm not going to mail it either. Either it's cash money and you come here and get it, okay? I mean, now if you're in town where I live or something, yeah, sure, I'll deliver it to you. But, not 2 hours away. So, yeah, it's quite an experience to try to sell on Marketplace. Just like I sold the air conditioner to this camper to somebody, and they were just darn glad to get it. But I had it on Marketplace for like 2 weeks. Well, nah, maybe, I'm sorry, maybe a week. I'm sorry, I don't know what I'm saying. I had it in Marketplace for like about a week before it really sold. I got people interested in it like the first day, but then they were all no-shows. They'd say like, "Oh, I'm on my way. I'm coming there to get it," and they just not show up. They never message me back telling me they can't do it. Nothing. I mean, some people are just very inconsiderate. They expect me to stay up all hours of the night waiting on them not to show. So I've got to be really very I don't know if I'm being nasty to some of these people that ask me to do these weird things, but cause, I mean, I know what some of these people are capable of doing or not doing. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, like, for example, I could make a delivery or something on an inexpensive item, and then they could say, "Oh, well, that's not really what I wanted, so I'm not interested now." After driving there for a couple of hours or something. I mean, no, I'm not going to go there. I'm just not going to learn that lesson the hard way. Yeah, I've had some really strange experiences, and sometimes they've been very positive experiences where somebody, like they bought a table saw from me. Okay, they came, they gave me the money, they were glad to get it. We loaded it up on their truck, and away they went. And then so it's kind of like really a mixed bag of experiences that I've had so far on selling on Marketplace. I mean, I used to sell stuff on eBay. I even sold a sailboat years ago on eBay. And I mean, I did pretty good doing that. But now that eBay's terms of service has got really weird, I'm just not really interested in selling on eBay anymore. And I'm not really interested in some of these other online stores, like even Etsy. Okay, like I could sell a lot of different things on Etsy, and I'm just not interested in it because of their terms of service. And then I don't even like to take Cash App. I canceled my Cash App account, and I canceled my PayPal account because I got hacked on Cash App, and I don't like the terms of service on PayPal anymore. And I'm sure Zelle isn't any better. They're all about the same. Okay, you take a risk of getting hacked on their site. I mean, I don't even like doing Bitcoin or any of that anymore, even though I do still have some. I just don't even like to do that anymore because you get hacked. Matter of fact, I had a good $1,000 worth of coin, you might say, of cryptocurrency on I can't even remember the name of the exchange now, but they were like in Estonia or something. And anyway, they just closed up. Okay, they just went out of business and didn't give anybody a chance to get their crypto out of their account or nothing. They just went out of business. I'm sure they took all of that money and ran. It really ticks me off. I mean, I had a good $1,000 worth of crypto there. I've just given up all confidence in any of that except for cash and precious metals. I'm done. I'm just completely done with all these different forms of computer currencies and stuff. If it's on a computer, I want no part of it, man. I mean, you get hacked so easily, or the exchange just decides to close up and run off with your money. And some of these Cash App and all, they, like I said, you get hacked, or they come up with these terms of service that are just impossible that you would agree on. So I'm done. I'm just over it. I don't see how we could possibly become a digital type of a society when you have the problems that we have with the computer systems, and so I don't know, maybe somebody out there has had better experiences than me. I really don't know. Maybe I'm just ranting, but I mean, I got good reason to rant about it. Okay, I've lost money and things like that, and that as a reason for my rant. And I mean, it's anyway. I guess enough of that. So here, I mean, I'm just still taking this side apart. Some people told me that I probably should try to do this like professionally, right? To take apart mobile homes and campers and such. Well, that's not too bad of an idea. It's just that it is a lot of work, and if you're going to make a living doing it, well, you need the money to make it worth your while. And the only reason I'm doing what I'm doing here really is because I was told that I would be better off not to use like a tractor or something like that, like some people have told me I should do, is use a tractor and tear it up and then just throw it in the dumpster, is because the metal frame could bend up and then you'd have a hard time hauling it out of there. So I'm trying to keep the metal frame intact, and I'm sort of hoping that after I get all the wood and everything out of there, that I could actually sell the frame as for in case if somebody wants to build a tiny home or something on it. I'll try to sell it like that maybe on that angle. So I guess that's another reason I'm still hoping that maybe I could even sell it after I get everything tore apart. I don't know. And then there's the other this is a lot of work. It really is. It's, well, I guess it wouldn't be if you had a tractor, but not as much anyway. But having to separate all the stuff, the stuff you could burn versus the stuff you can't burn, and so you could probably get away with not getting such a large dumpster if you burned a lot of the stuff, but then of course you're going to take a lot more time and everything, and they're separating the wire and things if you're going to scrap all that out. It's there's a lot into it. Any which way I can. So here I'm just trying to get up on the ladder as high as I can. Okay, now right about here, feel free to go ahead and criticize me for getting up on the tippy top of that ladder, because I probably shouldn't be doing that, but that was the only way I could get up to where I needed to go, and I felt secure enough about it, but still, I know, probably really shouldn't do that. But as you can see, sometimes, whoa, things happen. So here, I fell into, or one of the legs fell into like a weak spot in the dirt where it just caved right in. That could have been bad, especially if I were on the top and I couldn't catch myself or something. So I try not to get up on the top of a ladder. I mean, ladders like this are not really meant to be able to get up on the top. It's just not really safe. Just letting you know, you the viewer, do not stand on the tippy top of a ladder, okay? As a matter of fact, where I'm at right now, OSHA would not approve of the use of the ladder the way I had been. Not even, I mean, naturally, being that they're really tippy top like I had been, it's definitely not OSHA approved, but right where I'm at now, that is not so OSHA approved either. You have to be like down there on the second from the top for it to be anything like OSHA approved, and then I'm not even too sure about that ladder because it is an aluminum ladder. A lot of times they're not really rated all that high. Even though I'm lightweight, I'm only about 170 pounds, but still, it's you know, you have to watch the weight rating. Well, I had dickens of time getting this panel off there. Um, so here's where finally it would give for me. And then, you know, so I'm back inside tearing apart this little closet, or what was a closet at one time. Some of the closet was okay, and some of it was eaten up with by moisture and bull ants. So well, it's all got to go. Now there's a small vanity in there that I don't know if I'm showing. Well, I'll point it out here later if I show it. But the vanity seems to be in pretty good shape. I might just keep that and try to sell it. But yeah, these little walls and everything, it's amazing. You know, 2x2s and some veneer. I mean, it is just tough stuff. It's crazy. You know, that staples and glue holds everything. I almost expected insulation to be inside even this closet wall, you know, even though it's an interior wall. For some reason I kind of thought there was going to be insulation in there, but there wasn't. And, you know, why would there be? So, but sometimes, I don't know, I sort of thought there was going to be for some reason. Now the toilet, the camper toilet, you can see, you know, and I'll show it again. Well, what I did was, as you can see, I used my skill saw to cut around it, and that was the easiest solution, just to get it out of there. Now, over here, I am back on the other side of the camper. I'm taking out this slide out. Now that awning that's at the top there, I'm keeping because I pretty much have that sold to somebody already. I just have to get it down and out of there in one piece. So it's amazing what you can, you know, sell. Yeah, the guy that bought the air conditioner was asking me if I had more parts, you know, for campers, and I told him, and he said, "Well, I'm interested." So, yeah, so he'll be buying whatever other stuff I got on this camper. I guess maybe I'll even try to get him to buy the water tanks. Yeah. Yeah, as I was taking this slide out apart, I kept visualizing what I was going to do if that slide out decided to slide on out. And but I kind of thought that that was unlikely to happen either way. I had see now here I'm unscrewing taking the screws out that attaches that awning so that the slide out will slide out of there after I'll show you what I mean here. After I do this, I'm going to go inside of the camper and take that trim apart. See the trim? That trim has got to go. So, yeah, just using a pry bar, that was about useless. What I really needed to do, which I will do, is use a mallet, or not a mallet. Which I will do is I'll use my maul, okay, which kind of looks a lot like a sledgehammer, and really, truly sort of does the same thing as a sledgehammer. I actually have a sledgehammer too, but I think I got two others. But anyway, the maul I kind of like because it's a little bit heavier than the sledgehammers I have, and it kind of gives me that option in case I want to use the maul end. What's really funny is I found that maul one day while I was just walking down the street, or checking out a pile of stuff that had been thrown out to the curb, and there it was. That maul was right there. As soon as I can get this trim off, here we go. See, I'm just now able to loosen that side up. Whatever. And yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's the end of that slide out, that's for sure. Just gotta clean up.